Now at 4, crime is down in Shreveport, according to police. We break down the numbers in a live report. Plus, medical marijuana is coming to Shreveport area. We'll explain what you can expect.
Rain and thunderstorms return to the Arklatex this weekend. We'll track it hour by hour in your forecast.
And watch your speed. We'll tell you about a Bossier Parish highway that will soon see a decrease in its speed limit. Plus,
I know that I'm the world's luckiest woman.
remembering former First Lady Barbara Bush, we take a closer look at her legacy and impact on our country. KSLA News 12 Now at 4 begins right now.
You're watching KSLA News 12 Now at 4.
2018, we're more impressed with what we're seeing as a result of some changes that were made in 2017.
A few weeks ago, we first told you crime numbers were down in Shreveport. Now we're learning more about those declining numbers in crime. Melissa Kakarika joins us live outside the Shreveport Police Department now, where Police Chief Alan Crump gave us an update on those numbers this afternoon. Melissa.
Yes, and with the numbers for March now complete, Police Chief Alan Crump said today the city only had 4 homicides in the first 3 months of 2018 compared to 15 last year. He also highlighted a decrease in robberies and a number of other crimes, saying crime is down a total of 16% this quarter. The chief said things were actually starting to decrease in the 4th quarter of last year as well. Now, he credits the $150,000 in overtime patrol funding approved by the city council last year as a big help, which he says funded Operation Long Haul. And he also credits partnerships with outside agencies as well as the work of his officers. With 2017 obviously being a very concerning year for homicide and crime, the chief also said that the department had been working hard the whole time, even if it didn't seem like it, and they're just now seeing some of those results. And of course, he promised that they would continue to fight crime. You can hear more from the chief coming up at 5 o'clock. Melissa Kakarika, KSLA News 12.
All right, thank you, Melissa. Now at 4, there can only be one medical pot permit for Northwest Louisiana, and that decision came down today. 3 Shreveport pharmacies were in the final selection process. The Louisiana Pharmacy Board selected Hope Pharmacy as the sole dispenser of medical marijuana. We're told the first patients could be getting that medication as soon as this fall once the pharmacy is built right across the street from Feist Weiler Cancer Center. Teams at the state and federal level are in Caddo Parish today checking out last weekend's storm damage. The Caddo Parish Sheriff's Office and Emergency Preparedness Unit requested the meeting after areas like the Queensboro neighborhood were devastated from the tornado that touched down late Friday night. Deputy Director Robert Jump says fixing the area will be costly, which is why it's important to start the process now.
Starts to open up different funding streams or different packages that are provided by different government entities. It doesn't guarantee that we will see any of those funding packages or any of that aid and relief, but it's the starting process.
Jump says the assessment teams will also look at other areas, including Bossier Parish, throughout the remaining of the week. 55 miles per hour. Louisiana DOTD officials say that's the new speed limit drivers will now have to follow along a 6-mile stretch of Highway 3. The announcement made just last week. Highway 3, also known as Benton Road, once had a speed limit of 65 miles per hour at certain points. Officials say the change in speed was inspired after 4-year-old Katie Grantham was thrown from her booster seat following a 2-vehicle crash last year. She died as a result of her injuries 1 week later. Officials say the change in speed will be something the community will just have to get used to.
I know that it's been, a topic of discussion among people about this change in speed limit, but any change, of course, comes with an adjustment period. And like I said, we just hope people understand that this is for an overarching safety.
Coming up on KSLA News 12 at 5, hear about the steps the Department of Transportation and Development took to make this change happen. Now let's go ahead and take a live look at Interstate 20 this afternoon at Sam Fertitta exit. You can see there's a little bit of a backup out there heading eastbound on I-20, but no major issues to report. Remember to give yourself some extra time if you are heading eastbound on I-20 this afternoon to get to where you're going. Not a bad day for a drive, that's for sure. The sun finally broke through the clouds today, and it's great and sunshiny, but James, rain coming back for the weekend.
We do have some rain, unfortunately, for the weekend, so make sure to enjoy the quiet weather while it's last. Here's our featured track at midnight on Sunday, and at this point, we're going to start to see some heavy rain move from east to west across the Arklatex. So by this time on Sunday, we do expect some heavier downpours to start to develop across parts of Shreveport, Bossier, and the rest of northwest Louisiana. But for right now on Live First Alert Doppler, we are on a clean sweep, still tracking a cold front that's dropping south through the Arklatex. So I'm not going to go with a rain-free forecast this evening. 1 or 2 stray light rain showers will be possible ahead of as well as along the front. We're seeing one little shower develop along or close to Alexandria right now. So if you're headed downtown for the Holiday in Dixie Festival, you are going to get 2 thumbs up from me. Might need a light jacket though, because temperatures are going to quickly tumble as soon as that sun goes down. So by 6 o'clock this evening, 77 degrees. We'll be down to 73 by 7 o'clock this evening. Not expecting any rain here in the Shreveport Bossier area because that front has now dropped south of the area. We'll be down to 69 degrees by 8 o'clock this evening, and that's when you might need that light jacket. Keep in mind it could be rather breezy at times with that northwest wind at around 10 miles per hour, and gates open at the Holiday in Dixie Festival that's happening at Festival Plaza downtown at 5:30. The weather looks great this evening, but temperatures will tumble tonight. We'll talk about how low those temperatures will go in your forecast.
A man attacks 3 Shreveport police officers with 2 huge knives. Police say they were forced to open fire to save their lives, and it's all caught on dashcam video, the key evidence in what's supposed to be an open and shut case of attempted murder. But tonight at 10, our chief investigative reporter Stacey Cameron questions the DA's office on why that will never happen.
7 months later, inside a Cattle Parish courtroom, the attempted murder charges against Ruffin got dropped when he agreed to plead guilty to a single count of resisting arrest by force.
The evidence just did not support any other charge.
Some people look at this video, they're going to say his intent was to kill those officers.
Everyone would be able to look at a video and come to their own conclusion.
I beg to differ.
That is former Shreveport Police Chief Jim Roberts. He watched video of the attack with me for the first time.
I think any competent jury in Caddo Parish would have found this man guilty of at least one count of attempted murder.
Moses Phil disagrees. She says it's not clear Ruffin wanted to kill.
If that wasn't the case, then why did the officer shoot?
Well, now we're getting into speculation.
Don't miss Stacey's exclusive investigation, Thin Gray Line, tonight on KSLA News 12 at 10. Barbara Bush is being remembered as a force of a woman and a beloved former First Lady. She died yesterday at the age of 92. Kristen Holmes has the latest now from Houston, Texas.
Flags around the country and world are flying at half-staff today in memory of former First Lady Barbara Bush, the matriarch of a political dynasty, one of only 2 women in American history to be both the wife and mother of a U.S. president. Tributes and condolences pouring in, none more moving than from her family. Former President George W. Bush posting this photo of his parents to Instagram, writing, "Our souls are settled because we know hers was." Her grandson tweeting, "My grandmother didn't just live life, she lived it well." Born Barbara Pierce in Queens, New York, she was 16 when she met a young man at a Connecticut country club who would change her life, George Herbert Walker Bush.
I married the first man I ever kissed. You talk about a bore. I am the world's worst.
The Bushes crossed the country to Texas and had 6 children. Their daughter Robin died of leukemia when she was just 3, a tragedy that had an enormous impact on Barbara. As her husband shifted to a life of public service, Barbara Bush remained out of the spotlight until he was elected as Ronald Reagan's vice president in 1980. And 8 years later, George H.W. Bush became the 41st president. Barbara Bush loved living in the White House. As First Lady, she established a nonprofit dedicated to literacy. In or out of politics, the legacy Barbara Bush nurtured will live on through her family, children, and grandchildren.
I know that I'm the world's luckiest woman. I think if I sort of put it in a nutshell, these are the things that are important to me: faith, family, and friends.
In Houston, Texas, I'm Kristen Holmes.
Barbara Bush's funeral will be held at St. Martin Church in Houston, Texas this Saturday. The public will be able to pay their respects during visitation on Friday at the church, but the burial ceremony will be private. An ARCLA tax organization is trying to make good things happen here by holding a book drive. In just 6 minutes, we'll tell you how you can get involved.
Cooler air is going to filter into the ARCLA text tonight, and we're talking about below average temperatures for the rest of the work week. And I have a feeling you're probably going to need to wake up to a hot cup of coffee tomorrow morning. We'll talk about a cool night in your forecast just ahead.